And so take a few moments to find a comfortable position. That might mean sitting on the couch, it might be a chair, it might be laying down on the floor. Something where you can sit for a little while and not have to shift too much. Start by taking a few deep breaths, making sure that the breath is going all the way down into your abdomen. Allow the belly to extend out. You find yourself in a forest. Lots of trees around. You can smell the leaves on the ground. You can hear the wind flowing through the branches, knocking more leaves down. And you're following a path. It's hard to see as there is no moon tonight, but you're sensing your way along, using your magical powers. You might hear some animal noises out in the forest, but for the most part, it's pretty quiet. Everything seems to be asleep. And you come to a grove, an open area, and you notice fellow witches there. And more continue to arrive from their own respective paths. There's some witch fire in the center, illuminating the area just enough so you can see each other's faces. You gather into a circle around that witch fire. And you notice one of the witches walking around outside of your circle, setting the magic circle, using her energy to create a globe all the way around you, going down into the earth, up into the sky, and all around to protect you. She continues setting the circle. I call to the north, womb of the earth. Come forth, ancestors who walked before us, and walk the earth again on this holy night. I call to the east, breath of life, from first breath to last. Breathe life into our ancestors once more on this holy night. I call to the south, fires of the funeral pyre. Lend your spark to our ancestors so that they may enjoy life once more on this holy night. I call to the west, waters of the well of souls. Draw our ancestors back up to us once more on this holy night. You might notice energy crackling around you. Allow it to happen. She then opens up a gate into the circle and starts guiding you down a new path. It's still dark, but you can see just enough to follow her. Eventually, she comes to the bank of a river, and everyone crowds around her. There is a boat with a ferryman, sitting there in his boat ready to take you across the river. One by one, you each pay a toll and cross the river with the ferryman. And you wait on the other side of the riverbank. Once everyone has gathered on the other side of the riverbank, your guide continues down another path. eventually coming to what looks to be a type of mausoleum. As you arrive, the doors creak open all on their own, inviting you in. The guide lets you know that this is a doorway to the underworld. The underworld law says that to enter, you must disrobe. The casting off of your old clothes is symbolic. It symbolizes casting off your old body, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and any outdated beliefs and illusions and glamours of your external world to allow for rebirth once new clothes are put on. Disrobing is the symbolism of the stellar goddess, Ishtar or Inanna, as she submits herself. Her unveiling removed the old illusions and false identities that served in the upper world, but are not here in the underworld. This is the initiation process. Like all externalizations, your clothes are a second skin of projected self and security that serve no purpose below. Here you stand naked before eyes that see all. Exposed, undefended, open to having your soul searched by the eye of darkness, the eye of the true self. Upon disrobing, your authentic inner beauty can be revealed and seen in all its glory, for you have nothing nor nowhere to hide. So as you go through the door, you remove your clothing. You stand in the darkness, acclimating to the underground, to the underworld. Notice what you feel, see, and hear. And remember, don't eat or drink anything while in the underworld. After hearing the call, you prepare yourself to meet the Dark Mother Goddess. As you enter the darkness and descend the 100 stairs, your body temperature drops, and you feel a coolness in the air, like autumn has set in and winter will come soon enough. Take your time down the steps and down the path, where you find a chamber with the dark goddess sitting on her throne. Your eyes meet hers. There is a chilling familiarity to her. She is all-seeing, all-knowing, all-powerful, dynamic, and mighty. And now here she sits in all her magnificent glory to show you what you need to know. She requires reverence and respect. She demands recognition as an equal power, just as valid and important as you have shown and given to above, known as the Great Above, the masculine world. All that you have shown to your pursuit of success, money, power, objects, relationships, recognition, and approval. Down here in the underworld, you are brought to realize there is no half greater than the other. That above and below, within and without, masculine and feminine, are equal in their strengths and differences. Barefoot on the underworld ground, you stand before the Dark Mother Goddess. She forces you to reveal your darkest hidden versions of yourself. You must experience this darkness in some form, no matter what. The oscillating, moving, ever-changing is the rhythm of the feminine self. It is not constant, nor always predictable, with both phases needing to be seen, honored, and revered. You are awakening to the understanding that while you may spend much time above in what seems like light, to balance this time here in the dark, the solitude has come. You have journeyed here to the underworld, knowing it is a time of going within. You are feeling yourself going deeper and deeper within your very essence, your heart's core, your memories and moments of life captured like photographs and movies, to confront your inner Dark Mother Goddess. Use this time to explore the importance of your life-enhancing circle of evolution. Like a wheel of night and day or the seasons. In order for there to be rebirth, there must first be death. You must surrender these dark parts, allowing them to be discarded so you can be reborn. You have gone through this evolutionary wheel numerous times throughout your life, making sacrifices at each cycle. Your soul feels it has been here many lifetimes before, and likely still to come. You know that the above is sacrificed to venture below, so the soul connection can take place. So you will be reborn, awakened as you find your inner courage and strength. This courage and strength comes from seeing the dark or negative qualities within yourself, confronting them, and deconstructing them through surrender and divine wisdom. This time and every other visit you make to the underworld, you will approach the piercing eyes of the Dark Mother Goddess differently. Sometimes you will face her head on, courageously and with the will of a warrior. Other times, with humble submission. This will change depending on where you are along the path and what you have in the underworld to learn. Sometimes you call for the lesson of submission, sacrifice, and humility. Other times you call for the courage of heart and mustering inner fortitude to confront what challenges have arisen that seem unconquerable from where you stand today. Look deep into the all-seeing eyes of the Dark Mother Goddess. Now, as she stands unwavering before you, let her eyes be portals for you to scry and see into your deepest self. Let her show you what you need to be shown most now. Withhold judgment and allow the visions, symbols, signs, songs, sadness, or whatever needs to come forth to you to be seen. Let it be seen. Watch and listen. As the initiate, you begin to notice your very being, your entire self in a deep meditation. You are imagining, sensing, seeing, and feeling all that the Dark Mother Goddess is showing you. Let her and the experience take you where you need to go. You may sense you are losing everything. Your relationships, career, passion, direction, health, wealth, faith, motivation, enthusiasm, clarity, or not feeling anything at all. This primal suffering is the catalyst that leads to your sacrifice of activity. What is the Dark Mother Goddess telling you to sacrifice? What is she asking you to confront and shed? What are you doing or have you done that needs to be felt deeply now and then let go of? Flow with this. Let the journey she takes you on lead you as far and wide, as deep and down below as you can and need to go. You may feel as though you are barely surviving this internal pain. This dark night of the soul, as it is often called, can only be endured as long as an act of divine grace arrives with new wisdom for you, and it will. Eventually, you'll be ready to raise yourself higher to what you choose to feel, embrace, and be. Then you will welcome a new rebirth and a veil lifted to reveal another layer of illumination. Welcome this darkness of the soul in exchange for the balance and harmony that longs to come forth in your life. This descent allows you to be broken wide open, so you can call for the new to be alchemized. You have broken away and broken down to break through and be reborn. After being torn asunder, the Dark Mother Goddess fills you with feminine strength. She allows you your own sense of wholeness unto yourself as a separate individual, not dependent on another, man or child. She allows you to stand in your own power of yes and no, strong standing and firmly grounded. You can destroy or create, and you know this powerful source is radiating from within. You no longer seek validation, not from the outside or by making a friendship, experience, circumstance, or space friendly to gain support or appease for reward. This means you aren't seeking outside yourself to gain validation or to please. You feel a greater connection to your true self from this place of inner strength. You'll need to learn how to walk the path on the edge of here and there, the created masculine world of consumerism, form, and status, with the inner feminine world of harmonized truth, beauty, and love. How do these combine to bring you closer to your soul and spirit in light? Having confronted the Dark Mother Goddess, your inner ego self, you are ignited now to go forth to do creative work in whichever form this takes for you. Perhaps dance and improvisations of body that are not usual to your way of being will assist the shift. You may need nurturing, touch, and permission and connection with the ego as its beautiful illusion dies away, rots, and submits to the destructive transformation. After taking the time to integrate your darker self, you thank the Dark Goddess for her gifts, knowing that you can come back at any time to seek additional transformation. You turn and walk back the way you came, through the passageway, and back up the 100 stairs to get to the doorway. Once you've arrived at the doorway, you pick up your clothing and don it before walking through. Your guide takes you back to the riverbank where the ferryman awaits. Paying the toll once more for safe passage, he will take you across to the other side. And once there, you'll wait for everyone else to return from their journeys. And once everyone has collected on the other side, the guide takes you back through the forest on that path. And you notice you feel a little bit different. And you arrive back in that clearing. As she ushers you back in through that gate in the circle. And once everyone is back inside the circle, she uses her energy to close the gate. And as you stand there, looking at the witch fire and around to the other witches in the circle, you notice the energy has shifted. And she begins to deconstruct the circle. I call to the west, waters of the well of souls. Collect our ancestors so they may rest in peace once again. I call to the south, fires of the funeral pyre. Cleanse our ancestors and bear them home once again. I call to the east, breath of life, from first breath to last. Whisper and calm our ancestors once more. I call to the north, womb of the earth. Bear our ancestors in peace once more. As she begins pulling in the energy of the circle, allowing it to enter her body and move through it down into the earth, where she grounds it. And she reminds you that after this journey, you should take some time to ground as well. It might mean eating something, since we're now in the upper world again. It might mean using your senses to feel everything around you again. She beckons farewell, and you begin to find that path back again, through the forest, even though it's a little dark. Back to the place where you reside.